Hi, I'm Fred Schepartz, the author of Vampire Cabbie, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of the opening of my novel. Takes place in fall 1987. In a Parisian discotheque, a driving synthesized beat pounded repeatedly against my skull, a beam of sheer force, thick and blunt. The edges of the rhythm smoothed, transforming into the rapidly beating heart of a deer fleeing through a dark forest from a predator sensed but unseen, closing then overtaking, easily bringing down its prey, then plunging sharp fangs into its muscular throat. I played with but did not drink the glass of Pernod before me on the faux marble table. My eyes narrowed. Through clouds of blue smoke, the tightly crowded dancers became tree trunks. The flashing lights transformed into splinters of moonlight. I was gone in a moment from this rather unsavory Parisian district to the unspoiled confines of the Black Forest, where I had spent a whole month in feral bliss, devoid of civilization, of words, of even clothing, not pretending to blend in with humanity, but wallowing in the fullest extent of my predatory nature. Arising at nightfall, I had run free through the woods, stalking game, gorging myself on hot, wild blood, then burrowing in the ground before first light, only to rise again the next evening. I even allowed myself to be stalked by a black bear, who followed my scent on the trail of carrion for nearly a week before finally attacking. However, at the last moment, I turned and countered, barely managing to muster the leverage to send the bear toppling to the forest floor. My fangs sank into his neck, and that great creature's essence streamed into my mouth. I drank but left him with life, this done out of respect from one predator to another. A man approached my table. "Monsieur," he said in a gravelly voice. My eyes focused wide on a gold razor blade the man had dropped on the table, my skin chafing suddenly against my silk shirt, the Armani suit I wore feeling quite constricting. I plucked the blade from the table, inspected it, and, with a nod, handed it back to him, giving him a quick study. The sallow flesh under his quickly shifting eyes drooped. He was unshaven. His heart beat rapidly. Yet he looked quite smart in a double-breasted blazer. He turned and walked to the water closet. I followed momentarily. At each step, the soles of my Guccis loudly unstuck themselves from the chipped tile floor as I slipped between women blooming like fragrant flowers, some in black leather, some in high heels and tight dresses, with the shortest possible hemlines, gyrating around unwashed, unshaven men in black leather or well-tailored blazers. The WC reeked of vomit and urine. The man sat on a sink, his back to the mirror. He scratched his stubbly chin and withdrew a plastic bag from the hip pocket of his blazer. It was full of folded paper packets. I stood before him and peered into the bag, the back of his head and shoulders visible in the mirror in front of me, my own frame a barely discernible outline. As his fingers reached inside the bag, our eyes met. Black dots danced before my eyes, growing into large discs that began to pulsate and dissolve into a pair of bubbling red masses. Quickly, my fangs sank into his neck as I shoved his sagging form onto the sink, his legs dangling above the floor. I drank hastily, taking about a pint before leaving the man draped over his porcelain perch, images from his immediate memory filling my crimson-tinted sight. A back alley, a flash of steel, the crisp line of red, then nothing as shutters slammed shut, sparing me the rest of the man's thoughts. Too long in the wilds, I'd forgotten to screen myself from the thoughts and feelings of my victims. Before departing, I returned his bag of goods to his blazer pocket. "Merci," I said, leaving quickly. An appointment awaited. After a month incommunicado, surely there would be business requiring my attention. Well, kiddies, that's all for now. But I hope you enjoy Vampire Cabbie, and please continue to enjoy Bordello of Horror.